Hello, welcome to this update for Hurricane Helene and the rest of the Atlantic. So we will focus first on Hurricane Helene. It's been recently upgraded to a hurricane. So first we will discuss the impacts with this, and then we will check some models for the intensity and everything. But I think it's important to check the impacts first, because some impacts that this might have on the southeastern US might be very life-threatening. So if you are there, watch this video with full attention, pay attention, and warn others, send this to others there. And not only in Florida, like Georgia, South Carolina, we get some very dangerous impacts too. So share this with them there, tell them that this is serious, life-threatening event, and please do everything you can to stay safe. This is very serious. So let's first see the current information. First, like the update. So it's now a hurricane. There's still the hurricane warnings there, like the Yucatan, tropical storm warnings in Cuba, and hurricane watches. So now it's predicted to be a major hurricane already in the like by Thursday, tomorrow, and major as it hits Florida. So this could be a Cat 3 as is currently forecasted, or it could be like a Cat 4. With those Gulf waters, I think it might be a Cat 4, but it might just be a Cat 3. But let's see. It's now bringing some impacts to the Yucatan and Cuba. So those are the immediate impacts happening now. As you can see, all that convection there and everything. So please stay safe there. Those heavy rains in the Yucatan and Cuba. So it's already happening, but let's just take a look. The rainfall accumulation in those areas doesn't seem like much, but those storms today associated with the system will be very intense. So be careful in the Yucatan, more than 100 millimeters in western Cuba, so stay safe there. And as you can see here, all those storms and gusty winds too. There's some very gusty winds with this, especially most of southwestern Cuba, and let's see like some 90 km/h gusts in the Yucatan too. So please stay safe there in Cuba today and tomorrow. Already showing like in the Keys, like close to 91 km/h gusts in Key West. And let's see here, there will be like some 57 mile/h gusts there in Key West. And tomorrow, then it shows there the European has heading towards Florida, more than 60-70 mile/h gusts near Central Florida, like Northport to 63, Sarasota 71 mile/h gusts, and near like, let's see, some areas in the immediate coast like Holmes Beach, some 82 mile/h gusts. So this will be very dangerous, even in western coast there, like some 86, 82 mile/h gusts. So please stay safe there. So check if you have any evacuation orders and everything, because if you need to evacuate, please do so. So the European has makes landfall in the Big Bend, like close to 101 mile/h gusts, and depending on the strength, these gusts could be higher. That is like 108 mile/h gusts. So please stay safe, as strong gusts all the way to like Georgia. So let's see, throughout South Carolina, as this goes, some very high gusts, 60-70 mile/h gusts, especially in Georgia, more than 70. So there will be a lot of power outages, down to power lines, and a lot of damage. So please be careful. Even as this goes north, the Appalachians might see some very high gusts. So please stay safe with this. Let's see the rest of the impacts first. There's the rainfall potential. Now shows North Carolinas and northern Georgia, 12 to 16 inches there. 12 to 16 inches near North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and 8 to 12 inches in Georgia and Florida, like in the where this make landfall, 8 to 12 inches, and more rain across Florida, some more rain all the way into Missouri. But the very high risk is like Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina there in South Carolina. So please stay safe. Still showing a lot for western Cuba and those areas. So please stay safe there. There's the storm surge warning already. So let's see. In the whole west coast of Florida, storm surge warning. So please take action, stay safe. In a storm surge watch in a part of the Panhandle. So please stay safe there. Let's see. This the potential storm surge shows a little bit less for Tampa. A few days ago was showing like greater than 9 feet above the ground. Now it's showing like greater than 6 feet above the ground in some parts of Tampa, and like greater than 3 feet in that yellow. So there'll still be storm surge there, especially those very strong like 60-70 mile per hour gusts there. There will be storm surge there. So please stay safe too. Near Clearwater, some other areas shows even some 9 feet above the ground, 3 feet. So please be careful all throughout the coast there. And where this will make landfall shows much greater than 9 feet above the ground. Most of the Big Bend and the Panhandle, especially the Big Bend. And then that's like the maximum category. We'll check the storm surge forecast in a second, but show like greater than 9 feet above the ground all the way to like the Panhandle. So please stay safe there. Especially low-lying areas have already been evacuated, I think. But please, if you think you are in a dangerous spot, and please evacuate, stay safe, and follow all the guidelines available from the government and everything. And find your evacuation routes. I'll put a link on the description too for the evacuation routes. So the storm surge still show like 3 to 5 feet in southwestern Florida, 1 to 3 feet in the Keys, 5 to 8 feet near Tampa and other areas, like 6 to 10 feet and 10 to 15 feet of storm surge in the Big Bend in those areas. So still some catastrophic storm surge expected, even 1 to 3 feet on the East Coast, and so like 2 to 4 feet, 6 to 10 feet there. So please stay safe. Storm surge is no joke. It can flood a big area of the coast. So please stay safe from this. Evacuate if you are in a dangerous spot, and even if you're further away from the beach, secure your home. Do everything you can to stay safe from flooding, and evacuate if you need. So let's see. There's the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities, already 100% there. For tropical storm force winds, most of Florida is under percentage, like all of Florida could have some tropical storm gusts. Most of Georgia, too, all of Georgia actually, most of Alabama, so even South Carolina, so please be careful. Hurricane force winds mainly in Florida and southern Georgia, maybe Alabama, but mainly in Florida there's some big hurricane winds and 58 mile per hour winds, almost to 90% chance there in Florida, so please stay safe. Let's see. The key messages currently say hurricane and tropical storm conditions are expected over northeastern portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico today, whereas tropical storm hurricane warning in effect. Tropical storm conditions are occurring over parts of western Cuba within the tropical storm warning area. Hurricane conditions are possible today within the hurricane watch area. Due to large size of Helene, the danger life-threatening storm surge along the entire west coast of Florida Peninsula is expected in Florida Big Bend coast. Residents in those areas should follow the advice given by local officials and evacuate if told to. The devastating hurricane force winds over portions of northern Florida, southern Georgia, where the core of the Hurricane Helene moves early Thursday, since tropical storm conditions are expected to begin these areas on Thursday. Because of Helene's expected fast forward speed, damaging life-threatening gusts are expected to penetrate well in and over parts of southeastern United States, including higher terrain and southern Appalachians. Helene will bring heavy rain to parts of the western Caribbean, northwestern Caribbean, and potentially significant flooding western Cuba, northeastern Yucatan Peninsula until early Thursday. Conceivable and potentially life-threatening flash flooding, urban flooding, expected portions of this northwestern northern Florida, southeast, southern Appalachians, and upper Tennessee Valley through Friday. This includes the risk of landslides across southern Appalachians. Widespread minor moderate river flooding is likely. Major river flooding is possible. So please stay safe there. This is no joke. Let's see. I'll just read the key messages in Spanish in case you don't understand English, because it's important too. You can skip ahead if you want. Let's see. Se esperam condições de huracão e tormenta tropical sobre porções do noroeste da península de Yucatán de México, donde há visto de tormenta tropical e huracán estão em efecto. As condições de tormenta tropical estão ocorrendo sobre porções do oeste de Cuba. Dentro da área da vista de tormenta tropical são possíveis condições de huracán ou na área de vigilância de huracanes em Yucatán e Cuba. Devido ao grande tamanho de Helene, há perigo de marejada ciclónica que ameaça a vida ao largo de toda a costa oeste da Península de Flórida e Big Bend, e se espera que a inundação mais alta de 10 pés ao largo da costa de Big Bend. Os residentes dessas áreas devem seguir os conselhos de funcionários e governo local e evacuar se les indica que lo hagan. Se esperam vientos devastadores força de huracão através de porções do norte de Flórida e sul de Georgia, donde o núcleo de Helene se mueve a tierra dentro. Los preparativos para proteger vida y propiedad deben completarse para el jueves temprano, que se espera las condiciones de tormenta tropical comiencen dentro de estas áreas jueves. Debido a la velocidad que avance rápida de Helene, se espera que las ráfagas de viento amenazan la vida penetren bien dentro de Estados Unidos, partes de los Appalachians y al sur. Helene traerá fuertes lluvias por zonas del Caribe y oeste de Cuba y península de Yucatán hasta el jueves. Se esperan inundaciones repentinas y urbanas considerables a porciones de Cuba y Yucatán, potencialmente que amenazan la vida. Porciones del noroeste de Florida, sureste de Estados Unidos y sur de Appalachians y el Tennessee Valley, miércoles hasta viernes. Entonces, esta lluvia puede amenazar la vida. Por favor, cuidado. Esto incluye el riesgo de deslizamientos de tierra en los Appalachians del sur. Probable que se produzcan inundaciones generalizadas de los ríos, menores y moderadas. Son posibles inundaciones aisladas de los ríos, como inundaciones graves así de los ríos. Entonces, muchísimas precauciones. Good. Now, let's see this arrival time. So this says tropical storm force winds could start in the Big Bend around early on Thursday, but western Florida could see tropical storms force winds as early as like tonight in parts of western Florida. So please be careful. Please stay safe. Let's see if there's something else important here, but this mainly it. So please stay safe from the storm surge, the flooding, the winds and everything. So before I show you like the local impacts and everything, I just want to show you the rainfall threat. So today is already a high risk of excessive rainfall, like in South Carolina, North Carolina and Georgia, and a moderate risk from Alabama to North Carolina, as lighter in western Florida and as lighter in Florida. So that high risk, at least 70% chance exceeding flash flood guidance. So some very dangerous, life-threatening flash flooding expected starting today there. So please stay safe there. Let's see. Then tomorrow's the main day. They have another high risk like northern Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and a moderate risk all the way from Florida to North Carolina, and parts of Tennessee, a slight from like Florida to Kentucky, and a marginal from Florida to Missouri. So please stay safe. That high risk, 2 days in a row of high risk, the ground could saturate and everything. So some life-threatening flooding. Please do everything you can to stay safe from that flooding. This is very dangerous. Day 3 still a moderate in North Carolina there, and Virginia, a slight from Missouri to Virginia, and a marginal in Florida still. So please be careful. Day 4 still a marginal in Florida and a marginal from Missouri to Kentucky, and day 5 still a marginal like from Arkansas to Virginia. So please stay safe there. The rainfall Wednesday today already shows more than 5 inches, parts of northern Georgia, North Carolina. So please stay safe. Already shows in Florida starting like 1 to 2 inches, some spots like 3 inches near the coast. So please stay safe. And already shows some in the northeast, the rain in the northwest and Texas there. Let's see, tomorrow shows more than 7-8 inches there in Florida. It's like 7 inches, so please stay safe there as this makes landfall. The flooding from this plus the storm surge could be very catastrophic. Shows a widespread area of 5 inches across Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, some 7 inches there or more. Shows South Carolina some 5 to 7 inches, but mainly like 3 to 5 inches across South Carolina and other areas, so please stay safe. Shows more in the northeast as well. Day 3 still close to 3 to 4 inches, parts of Missouri and other areas. Day 4, Sunday, still some rain there. Next Monday, still some lingering showers. Next Tuesday, a shower or two, some in the northwest. Next Wednesday, still some more rain in the northeast, so please be aware. Day 1 through 7 shows more than 15 inches throughout from Georgia to from Florida to North Carolina. From all these days of accumulation, more than 15 inches. So please be careful. This might cause some very life-threatening flooding. And we will still have the cold front there, and Hurricane Helene is there. So depending, because it's already certain they will make landfall there in the Big Bend, but depending on the timing of the cold front, the exact place of landfall might be different. So let's see here. They have some mesoscale discussions already there for the rainfall already occurring, and let's maybe see the HER model for the storms here. So it shows there, let's see, shows already some storms in Louisiana possible today, more storms across West Virginia, Ohio, showing some more storms in Ontario and Quebec, some showers into Pennsylvania, New York, some showers too, but then shows those heavier storms this afternoon for like Tennessee, northern Georgia, North Carolina. Those storms might cause some flooding, and even later today into tomorrow, like the end of the period of the flash flooding there, the high risk shows all that heavy rainfall set into Georgia, like South Carolina, North Carolina, some very damaging heavy rainfall as this goes into Florida there. A lot of flooding, as you see, makes landfall there, all the way in like Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Some life-threatening flooding could happen, so please stay safe there. Let's see here. Now some storm stuff. I also want to mention that margin risk there in Idaho, Montana, might be some wind and some storms with wind there. There's the big margin risk like from Texas to West Virginia to Florida. So tornadoes mainly from Florida to West Virginia, some probabilities there. Wind 5% there for some storms to the south, and hail just across like Georgia and West Virginia, some hail. So BPO are there today. Isolated severe storms are possible this afternoon from parts of the southeast and central northern Appalachians to Texas, Louisiana, Gulf Coast. Some tornado threat may develop across the Florida Peninsula by this evening, associated with tropical cyclone Helene. So please be safe. But tomorrow, man, is like an enhanced risk for tornadoes, like Georgia, North Carolina could see some very big tornado potential, as light risk from Florida to South Carolina and a marginal risk. So wind threats just 5%, hail threat none, tornado threat 10% tornado threat already from the Storm Prediction Center. They're in Georgia, South Carolina, so please be careful there. There might be various tornadoes there, including like especially in the 10%, but in the 5% a few tornadoes or multiple tornadoes, so please stay safe there. Have some ways to receive warning. I indicate by a radio, a thing that can alert you, because if you don't have, there are some sites here that shows all the flash flood warnings and everything, severe thunderstorm warnings, but if you had a radio, it can alert you right when it happens. So but please check the site to see the warnings and stay safe. Please be weather aware with that tornado potential and everything. And there's also the Colorado State University forecast. They have some 2% tornadoes there today, some wind and hail too, especially wind. But tomorrow, the Colorado State University has a greater than a 15% tornado probability there from Florida to South Carolina. So that's a very big tornado probability there that they are showing. So that's a different forecast, but just interesting to show as well. And there's that forecast from the Colorado State University, but there's also NATOcast, another forecast center that uses some different models. So today they had some 5% tornadoes there this evening in Florida and others, but the latest forecast shows only a 2% there, parts of North Carolina and the Appalachians, some areas. Then they have a 5% for the tornado potential with Helene starting this evening. But tomorrow, NATOcast has a 30% tornado threat, 15, and a 30% tornado risk, Georgia and South Carolina. This might change. They update this like almost every hour, but they are actually a 30% tornado forecast. That's a significant chance of tornadoes associated with the system. So please have ways to receive alerts. This is very serious. And then this is tomorrow, but let's just see what they say here. Tropical cyclone Helene is forecast to move inland across northern Florida and Georgia. 30 risk of tropical cyclone related tornadoes accompanying the system, particularly from central Florida Peninsula to southeastern Georgia, parts of Midlands and low country South Carolina. So please be careful. Day 3 for Friday, still a marginal like Georgia, like North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, maybe still a low tornado threat. A risk of couple of tornadoes damaging thunderstorm wind, gusts exceeding parts of North Carolina, southern Virginia for Friday. So be aware for Friday too. And fire, no critical, and the other days is kind of fine. So please be safe there. Now let's see some local products. If you click on like the closest National Weather Service office to you, you can see the warnings here. They have some information, the radar, but for example like Jacksonville, Florida, they have some information here like hurricane tropical storm warnings today, Thursday, some temperatures and some more stuff. So they have the warnings in details. Hurricane warnings, tropical storm warning, the storm surge warnings on the coast, high surf advisory, rip current statement, flood watches in a big portion there of Florida, storm surge warning. So please stay safe. As you can see here, you have the high wind warnings there in Montana, some wind advisories, some like blowing dust advisories in Washington, and some excessive heat in the south, some red flag there. And they have the hurricane warnings, flood watches, tropical storm warnings, everything there. So please stay safe. Some flood watches in the Appalachians in Tennessee. So please stay safe. And let's see the tropical storm watch too, because for example, in the National Hurricane Center, there's the experimental cone here. It shows the inland warnings, tropical storm warnings, basically for all of Florida, hurricane warnings all the way into Georgia. The tropical storm watches go all the way to North Carolina. So please stay safe. This is a major system. And let's see here. So there's all the information you can check here, so please check and do what you can to stay safe. There's threats and impacts as well. If you go to like, let's see, threats and impacts, you can see that this the wind threat, like the purple, chance of greater than 110 mile/hour gusts, like all the way to southern Georgia, northern Florida there. The potential for 74 to 110 mile/hour gusts, 58 to 73 mile/hour gusts. So please be careful. The wind threat goes all the way to Tennessee. Storm surge threat greater than 9 feet above the ground across Florida there, northern Florida, greater than 6 feet above the ground there, and more storm surge southwestern Florida in the Keys, and some low storm surge there in the east. So please stay safe. Flooding rain threat, the high risk there. Wait, as I showed you, so please be careful. The moderate risk, like major flooding rain and extreme flooding rains. So please be careful. Localized flooding rain and moderate flooding rain. So please stay safe. And tornado threat is right, potential for many tornadoes there across Georgia, South Carolina, northern Florida. Potential for several tornadoes in the orange. So please stay safe there. And you can select local products, radar, satellites, so please stay safe. They have all the warnings information here. And let's see now, finally some forecast models. So first, some information on, they still say tropical storm here, but it's now a hurricane. So let's see, the track models take this right into the panhandle there. They trended further west a little bit, but generally the big bend on the panhandle for the landfall. The other models, similar thing. the intensity guidance is still a Cat 3, the max, Cat 2, Cat 3, but there's still a low possibility of a Cat 4, but mainly a Category 3. So please stay safe there. And let's see the models. First, the hurricane model. So there's the HWARF for Helene. It's just off the Yucatan there. Let's see. Then it goes, the HWARF strengthens this to 944, 943, and like a Category 4, Category 3, Category 4. This will be like a Category 4 at landfall. Goes there into Georgia and the other areas, some big impacts. So let's see, there's the HEFS A. It goes there. Wait. Okay, so it goes into the Gulf, intensifies more. The HEFS A intensifies just to 928, Category 5. Makes landfall as a 921, Category 5. So the HEFS A is a little bit stronger. There's the HEFS B. True, so it shows here low. Wait. It goes there, like goes all the way down to 956, 932. So the HEFS B has a 932, Category 5 at landfall. So these models might be a little bit too strong still, but we'll see. That there's the H1, goes there, strengthens more in the Gulf, goes all the way down to 935, makes landfall as a 939 there, Category 4, Category 5. So these models are still some big numbers in terms of strength. The European model has this going there, and then 974, it has to make landfall as a 958, Category 3. So the European models weaker than the hurricane models. There's also the GFS, it goes there, 957. So both operational models are kind of the same values, weaker than the hurricane models. So let's see here. There's also the icon, but let's see. So shows there, and then the icon has all the way down to 941, Category 4 at landfall. So please stay safe. There's the Navgen, the 12Z, so it shows there. It goes, wait, so the Navgen has a 964, so like Category 3, Category 2, so that's a little bit weak, but there's some other models too, but you get the idea. So this will likely be a Category 3, but it could still become stronger, so please stay safe there. This will be a very life-threatening scenario. So let's see here. There's still those two other areas. There's this non-tropical area at 20% chance of development. This might try to become a non-tropical system or something, but nothing crazy. There's this area at 50 and 80% chance there, the main development region. So let's see. Tropical wave located 700 miles west of Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce organized showers and thunderstorms, and environmental conditions appear for gradual development. This is a tropical depression is likely to form next few days. So they still say a tropical depression could form there, but you likely head out there into the Atlantic. So no big threat from that. But let's see here. So as you can see, the European model does turn this into a tropical storm there by Sunday, or tropical depression. Then it strengthens a little bit more there in the Central Atlantic and keeps going, gets stronger there. Might affect the Azores later as a low pressure system or a storm. So please be aware. And then there's the GFS. It kind of turns this into a depression or a storm, but very weak, and towards the Azores later too. And the icon has still weak, but it might become like a depression or a quick storm there. Like, let's see here. Yeah, so be aware there, but nothing that crazy. But we'll also monitor that. So let's see if this is working here. I don't think it's working. There's the GFS too. Let's see if it's working. It's only working for the Western Pacific, so yeah, never mind. But be aware, so please stay safe with the system there. This will cause potentially some catastrophic impacts there, and please warn others. Do everything you can to stay safe, and please stay safe. So let's just see like some models here to see if there'll be any storms in some other areas. For example, North America, like Canada, still shows those storms there. That bigger storm Thursday into Friday, a lot of heavy snow there into British Columbia and heavy rain there. Then it continues. Let's just put North America, and then let's see the European model. It does show that those storms there, like some heavy rain from today into Thursday, like Alberta, maybe some snow too in the mountains. Shows system there, Northwestern Territories and Nunavut. It shows that system there in Ontario and Quebec, some more showers and storms, maybe some storms too. Then it goes to the northeastern U.S. and Atlantic Canada there, might affect some more rain before it leaves the coast. So she also shows some snow in northern Nunavut by like Friday, and that big system there in British Columbia. Also shows another potential system by the 29th there to watch, and it's showing like by the 29th that system central Canada might bring more rain and snow, so we'll keep watching that too. So let's see, there's the HER I showed you before, the storms there, some rain in the northwestern US, some showers, maybe a storm or two in Canada, but nothing crazy because it's cold. But in Quebec and Ontario, higher potential for some thunderstorms and some more rain there, so be aware. And let's see here. So the temperatures are still very high in the southwestern US, in the hundreds Fahrenheit. Some high temperatures throughout the valleys too, western US in the 90s and 80s, and still some low 80s there, 90s in the southeast. But as this system comes, it will cool down. But like at night in Alaska and northwestern Canada, show some very low temperatures still, especially as these systems come there. So a lot of low temperatures, some lower temperatures at night in eastern Canada too, but nothing crazy. And during the day shows warmer in south central Canada there, so be aware. And wind gusts shows like, shows still some very strong winds Friday with this system western Canada there, so please stay safe there. So let's see in kilometers. So the European show like some more than 100 km/h gusts in the British Columbia Alaska coast, many British Columbia there, like more than 100 km/h gusts Friday as this comes through. Then into the mountains of Alberta and other parts of British Columbia, some very high gusts into later Friday as well. And Sunday we might have that system setting up there in Saskatchewan and Alberta and Montana. They'll leave some very high gusts too. And the European models are showing like 100 and more km/h gusts from Manitoba as this moves in next Monday and Tuesday, so we'll keep monitoring that. But the main focus is this system on Friday. The GFS is also showing 97 km/h gusts in the coast of British Columbia, so please stay safe there. And for example, the icon is showing close to 100 km/h gusts to the British Columbia, so please stay safe. This will have some very heavy rainfall as well until Monday. Shows more than 100 millimeters from the icon. The European close to 80 millimeters. The GFS close to 100 millimeters as well. So please stay safe too. And some more snow there too. Northern Nunavut, northwestern Territories, some heavier snow. Southern Alaska, some areas of Yukon, and the mountains there in Alberta, British Columbia. So stay safe. And one more thing, even if you aren't in Florida, north or south areas, the swells from this system might generate some dangerous rip currents all across the Gulf, like all the way into Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, especially Alabama, Mississippi, because there's some very dangerous rip currents in Cuba, the Yucatan as well, and especially in Florida, where this will make landfall. Some very dangerous surf, storm surge, rip currents, everything. And in the southeast, could be some rougher surf too, some rip currents.